What's good, people? It's about that time to randomly relate reverse rants. No hate. So this is something that I don't know if I'm going to do more videos like this. It depends on how I feel. So what I want to do, I just want to reflect on Ali versus Norton 3. Now, this is a fight that throughout the years, when I watched the fight, as a kid watching like old fights and going back, um, one of the things I want to say, you used to see Muhammad Ali dance and move and dominate, and even in fights that were tough, where he would clearly pull ahead and win the fight, whether it was by knockout or decision. You got used to seeing that. And then with other fighters, you see the same thing. And then when you see them get hit more than you used to see them get hit a lot of times, that, and then listening to the commentators say things like against that fighter, it can cause you to see something through their lens, not your own. And I have no reason to be biased for anyone. I'm always going to tell you the truth, regardless. And people, decisions on what they see is always going to be subjective with someone. And for a while, I felt like Ken Norton won the third fight. And then one day, I'm just sitting there thinking about fights and watching different fights, because I watch a lot of old stuff as well. And I'm sitting there and I started watching Ali Norton 3. And I'm sitting there watching, and I'm watching Ali land some hard shots. I'm watching him pick Norton apart on the inside. Ali fought him at close quarters, and Ali was 34 at the time. This isn't an Ali that can dance all night like he used to. And when he did dance and move, Norton couldn't do anything with him. He couldn't catch up to him, and he's getting jabbed and popped all night, jab right hand. He's getting smacked around. But I'm watching Ali, and Ali fought the majority of that fight in the pocket. He was outlanding Norton by far. Now, it was a close fight because Norton was landing shots too, body shots and all. Ali's talking to him pretty much the whole fight. And I end up scoring this fight 8 rounds, Ali 6 rounds, Norton. Now, it was a good close fight. One thing about Norton, he was the opposite of Shane Mosley. Shane Mosley had a problem with boxers, whether they were pure boxers or boxer punchers. Like example, Vernon Forrest's boxer puncher, had nothing for him. Winky Wright, boxer, pure boxer, and nothing for him. Floyd Mayweather, pure boxer, nothing for him. Manny Pacquiao, boxer puncher, nothing for him. Regardless to his age, from his younger years on up, he's always had a problem with the boxers. He didn't have a problem with punchers, man. Norton was the opposite. Norton had a problem with punchers. Those are the people that gave him the most trouble. In fact, Shavers knocked him out, I think, the first round, and Foreman knocked him out in 4. He never fought Frazier, but that's who gave him problems, was punchers. Ali didn't punch hard enough to really bother Norton, just like Larry Holmes didn't. He didn't punch hard enough to really to bother him at all. And the thing about that is, Norton, of course, will land in harder punches. Like his punches have more of a resounding thud, so like you can hear the sound more, and he's a harder puncher. That doesn't give you increased points because your punches are harder. And when I'm watching, I'm listening to the commentators say things like, Ali, trying to catch with the right hand. Most people don't think Ali have a right hand, or talking about how Norton's corner was saying, you got the fight won, don't take any chances and all that. Like, it doesn't matter. We've heard cornermen tell their fighters that they got the fight won, or that guy's ready to go, knock him out, or whatever it may be. You don't see it, and they're saying it. It's like, okay, trying to motivate your fighter. Maybe they really thought he had the fight won, okay? But I know Norton cried at the end of the fight when he lost, and like me, I've never understood the crying. You fight, you win, you lose. But the crying, I never understood. I don't care what sport it is. Like, yeah, all this hard work, okay, whatever, man. Look, man up. This shit happens. Plain and simple. But yeah, I mean, Norton fought a good fight, and people say he had Ali's number. It had nothing to do with him having Ali's number. He was just a good fighter. Both of them were, Ali was just different, man. And I'm gonna tell you something. If you look at the fact, Ali wasn't the biggest puncher, but At the same time, Ali had heart like a motherfucker, man. That motherfucker stood in that pocket and fought. Like and here's the thing, what people don't understand. Most fighters fall apart. Like Roy Jones couldn't fight like that. Roy Jones got gunshot. Roy's not going to fight with you on the inside the way Ali did. Roy Jones is not going to. None of them, Usyk, none of you, any of them, they're not going to fight that way. They're going to back off. They're going to try to get, distance. And they're going to try to, fight you the best way they can from the outside. But when they have to fight on the inside, now Usyk has fought certain people where, I'll come in the inside and fight. He would, if Usyk gets angry, or like how he did in the Dubois fight when he knew, like, okay, I was throwing a bone, I got to take care of this. He'll come in. I can't say I've seen Usyk show that he's scared to fight anybody, but I've seen Usyk get hit, and then all of a sudden he retreats. Not that that's a bad tactic. And, Usyk's conditioning, he does very well. You got to also understand, fighting the way he does. And, Usyk is just better than these other heavyweights out here. Like these, and not to take anything from him, but he's just in a shitty fucking division. This heavyweight division sucks, man. So Usyk is just like a big fish in a small pond right now. But hey, man, he's the best of his division. What I'm saying with Ali is Ali understood I can't dance and move like I used to. So I have to fight in the pocket. And Ali showed even in his prime years the same thing. If he have to fight, he will. Ali wasn't scared of shit. That's the one thing about this dude. I watch him and I'm like, nah, people don't understand. This is what Mike Tyson's talking about. When Mike Tyson say, see, I could dish it out. I just don't know if I could take it, man. The type of the fight, the punishment that some of these guys took, though, I don't know if I could take that. And Mike Tyson has shown, despite the Mike Tyson fanboys that sit there and make excuses for his losses, but Mike has shown he retreats when he gets hit. And the thing is, with someone that can box and know what they're doing and have a high ring IQ, look at Lennox Lewis. He looked terrible against Lewis. Look at Evander Holyfield. He looks terrible. People make it sound like he was an old man fighting young people. Holyfield is 4 years older than Mike Tyson. The bullshit excuse about, but when Mike was locked up, Holyfield was still fighting, which is true. But Ali was also out of boxing for 3.5 years. And where's the excuse for that, right? So the same thing. Ali, you could see the adjustments he was making, even to the point of, countering the overhand right from Norton and stuff. And he took big shots. I remember he got hurt with a body shot in that fight. And even at the end, one of the commentators goes, I'd be surprised if Norton lost his fight. And I'm saying to myself, see, no. I'm looking at it, and I'm scoring the fight. I'm watching it, but I'm scoring it round by round. Right? And I'm like, okay. And I had it 8 rounds, Ali, 6 rounds, Norton. One of the things I have to say about fighting, like back in the day, commentary, people felt like that Marciano style, that Joe Louis style of fighting, that Ezzard Charles, Rocky Graziano, that come forward and just bang, like that's the style that they wanted to see. And people used to always criticize Ali styles, guys that like that style more. Oh, you don't do boxing with your legs, you do it with your, all this shit. And it's like, bro, this is why fighters always had that nose hair like this and shit, and them cauliflower ears. Like, are you a wrestler or a boxer? Because they didn't have any real defensive skills. And I always looked at fighters like that, and I said, man, boxing at that era, man, was just, I'm not saying it to be facetious, but it was a lot of stupid fucking fighters. Like, man, that's not boxing. That's some fucking, just street fighting, man. You mean to tell me your training camp teaches you to just stand there and just take punches and give punches, and the first one of you fall, hey, that's how we decide to win if you get knocked out? Like, no, that's not smart boxing. And you had smart boxers as well, but as time goes on, certain fighters stand out. And Muhammad Ali, and you got to understand the racist bullshit, the shit that the stand Ali took and what he went through. That's a lot of shit that people used against Ali, man. You understand what I mean? So I don't give a fuck if you got Jim Brown on commentary as well. A lot of times people are trained to say things that they think that people want to hear. I mean, the same shit that you hear Tim Bradley doing. The same time at times Andre Ward and Tim Bradley was saying shit, and you like, what? Especially them being fighters, and stuff like that. But this was a great fight, and Norton was trying to put pressure on him, even like in the last round. Norton didn't win that last round. Norton was getting beat to the punch. He was getting out hustled, and he started trying to pressure Ali. And a couple of times, he had Ali on the ropes. He was throwing like body shots and stuff, but Ali had already took that round. And this was towards the end. So Norton jumping up and yelling and holding his hands up. Yeah, you're going to do that to try to persuade the people that, hey, I feel like I won. And let's say he really felt that he won. I don't feel like he won. I did at one point. And I'm like, I think Norton won that fight. And I'm watching it and I'm like, nah. And Ali's the champion. Here's a close fight. I have it scored 8-6, right? And I didn't pay attention to anything. And it's funny because that's what the judges had it scored, 8-6. And I thought, okay. He didn't do anything to take Ali's title. He fought a good fight. It was a great fight between those two. And this is the part of boxing that overshadows the fight, is when people make so much noise complaining about something. A lot of people, the people that wanted to see Ali lose, even like, for example, when Ali lost and they're like, oh, the fans are booing the decision and this and that or whatever. Okay, when Sugar Ray Leonard fought Duran in the third fight, they booed that fight. Yeah. And this is what I say about when people try to make it seem like certain fighters could do no wrong, or certain eras of time, like everything was just perfect. No. The reason that fight got booed and why Sugar Ray was getting booed and Duran was because, for one, Duran showed in that fight. Duran was, I think, 38 and Sugar Ray was 33 at the time or something like that. However it was. But Sugar Ray, he's 33. Duran was 38. And Sugar Ray, the fact that he couldn't finish off a washed up Duran was clearly done at this point. And the fact that the fight went the distance, and it was just like, what are you doing, man? Get this guy out of here. And that shit went the distance. It's not always as easy to do something as it looked from the outside looking in, because the fighter in the ring, even though what you see and what you're saying can be 1,000% true, that it's not able to do it. And that's why that fight got booed. Because it was like, all right, man. Now, they wasn't booing because Leonard really lost. No, they were booing the fight itself. Now, for those who didn't like the decision, it doesn't matter. When Ali fought Jimmy Young was getting cheered and Ali was getting booed. They was in Jimmy Young's backyard. You see what I'm saying? So you can't go by that bullshit, man. You can't sit here and just go by a crowd reaction, man. Because, hell, man. People feel like, but that's Ali. Like, you got to understand the times. You got to understand what was going on. It doesn't matter. If you watch battle rap, I remember watching battle rap. I can't even get into it, but I'm watching battle rap, man. I hear a guy say the most garbage line and the crowd erupts. Now, to me, it's garbage, but to the people, the simplest little type of lines that sound like it was written with the kid logic, right? That child logic mentality, right? But then when somebody really says something meaningful and you, that was nasty, the crowd is like, well, I don't understand what he meant. Yeah, you wouldn't. Yeah. This was a great fight between Ali and Norton, and but I felt like Ali won that fight by 2 rounds. And when people hear the term unanimous, in their minds, it's like unanimous, like they like he just won, by 13 rounds to 2. No, it's not what it means. Just because it's unanimous, it's okay. 2 rounds or more is unanimous, okay. And he won that fight to me by 2 rounds. And like I said, I didn't remember how the judges scored the fight. I just, in my mind, watching it back in the day, I'm like, I think Norton won. And you know what I'm saying? And when you go by like crowd reaction, when you're going by what commentators, like all of it combined, and you watching it, and Ali didn't look the same. But then I'm watching it and I'm saying, no, Ali still was great enough to do what he did. And without being able to use his legs. That's what I'm saying. Look at Roy Jones. Look at Zab Judah. Let's look at all these other fighters that when they fell off, they fell off. Or when they wasn't the same no more, they couldn't change up. Ali, was people made excuses. Yeah, but Norton had got knocked out by Foreman. So what? Ali knocked out Foreman. And, Foreman and Norton always had great fights. Ali and Frazier always had great fights. And Frazier got knocked out by Norton. So we're not gonna come up with the excuse because he had got brutally knocked out by Foreman. So fucking what? You took the fight, and Ali. Like I said, you see how people make excuses. Ali didn't fight 3.5 years, came back, had 2 tune-ups, and then got in there with Frazier. Where was the excuse for Ali? And it's not about excuses. My point is the double standard. The double standard effect is never there for certain fighters. And we don't need to make excuses up, man. 2 great fighters went in there and fought, and Ali won the fight. And when I watch it, I'm like, nah, Ali won this fight. He won. It's like when I watch, Roy Jones versus Antonio Tarver won. I don't think Tarver won that fight. In the middle of the ring, Tarver didn't do damn thing. He did nothing in the middle of the ring. Everything Tarver did was when Roy would look tired, and it's not like Tarver was forcing Roy into the ropes. Roy himself would just go back into the ropes, and Tarver would try to do that. When Leonard fought Hagler. Now Leonard was winning the fight in the middle of the ring, and he would every round he was pretty much almost every round he would throw a flurry and try to take the last 30 seconds of the fight, and it was a smart tactic, and it worked. And Tarver was trying to do that, but Tarver was missing most of those punches. But in the middle of the ring, he wasn't doing shit. And because you saw Roy get hit way more than you used to seeing him, people going, nah, Roy lost. And Tarver, I hurt Roy Jones. Yeah, okay. Not denying that you didn't hurt him, but I don't think you won. Second and third fight, no question who won. But that first fight, no. I don't think Tarver won. I thought Roy Jones won the fight. And that was a fight that was more recent, so I had watched that fight more and more. And when I did, I never changed my opinion on that. I feel like, yeah, Roy won. You saw Roy sucking it up and all that and trying to do more, but my point, what I'm saying is Roy couldn't sustain from that fight on. Roy could never fight a seesaw battle with anybody. At that point, it's either Roy is going to be able to outbox you because you're just not all that good anymore, or you were never really all that good, like him beating the Jeff Lacey. Calzaghe beat the shit out of Jeff Lacey, and Jeff Lacey was never the same. Felix Trinidad wasn't boxing for years and then come back, you know what I'm saying, much heavier, and Roy didn't dominate that fight. He won the fight, dropped him and stuff like that. I remember that equilibrium shot caught him with, or whatever it was, and he just took the knee and stuff like that. But like, these wasn't guys that was on top at anything anymore. They wasn't number one contenders, none of that shit. So when he got in here with Joe Calzaghe, he couldn't even compete. He dropped Calzaghe and couldn't follow it up with anything. Now me wanting Roy, pulling for Roy to win, but I didn't think he was, and he didn't. This is what I'm saying. You look at Ali and the wars that Ali had. Look at his career, the people he fought, and the fact that he would even look at the Shavers fight, man. Ali had more dog in him than anybody else, man. Because let me tell you something. Look at Chris Bird when he went up to heavyweight. Look at all these people. James Toney wasn't the same when he went to heavyweight. Ali wasn't a natural heavyweight at first. Ali, came from light heavyweight, then went up. But bottom line is what I'm saying for Ali. Like, if Ali had Frazier or Norton's type of power, or Foreman type of power, man, maybe he wouldn't have boxed the way he did then. You know what I'm saying? So he probably would have just been, he'd have been a different fighter, more so than less. So if you look at that and say, well, what if he had that kind of power, but kept that mindset of boxing, not depending on just his power? That was always my mindset. It doesn't matter if you got, equal knockout power in either hand, you're ambidextrous, whatever. It's like, nah, don't depend on just your power. That was always my mindset. So that way, it's scary because if I'm on the back foot of going forward, which, I would get on the back foot just to do it. Not because I had to, and make you run into something, bam, fight's over, one punch, shit like that. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at it, and this is the thing, when you actually know your shit yourself and understand how things work, you're still going to have people going, yeah, but this and that. It doesn't matter. Each fighter has a set of skills that they implement in the fight. And whoever can sustain, what their game plan is, and then and pretty much make the proper adjustments throughout the fight, that's who's going to win the fight. You know what I mean? Look at what's the two British guys that just fought some months ago. It was a rematch. I forget their damn names, but y'all know what I'm talking about. The first fight was a war back and forth, and the rematch was a first round knockout. Who saw that coming? You know what I mean? Who saw that coming? You know, at the end, the dude mouth was all crooked and shit. Like, I forget their names, but y'all know what I'm talking about. Just as what I'm saying, because you never know how a fight's gonna go. And Ali, man, that dude was different, man. And I've always said that. But I watched that fight, and this was a while ago when I even came to that conclusion. Then I said, you know what? Let me talk about that because when you watch things, that's one thing that people do. They listen to what the commentators say. They watch things happen, and then in their head, yeah, back in the day, Ali did, And I'm watching, I'm like, no, I feel like Ali won that fight. Even Floyd says, yeah, I think, Norton won and stuff like that. And I'm watching the fight, and I'm like, nah, it was a very good fight. It was a great fight. It was a close fight, and I feel like Ali won by 2 rounds. And basically, because Norton tried to come harder in the third fight than he did in the second fight in the last round. So what? He tried harder in that round, but he lost that round. And so, bottom line, this is my point. If he had won that round, right, I would have had his score 7-7. He lost that round. Now the fight would have either been a draw or Ali being the champ. Maybe they would have, majority or split decision probably or whatever. But yeah, either way, Ali won that fight in my eyes. And I'm not saying it to be biased. And this is why I'm making this video as well, because a lot of times people are just biased towards who they like more, who they wanted to win more. But I back in the day thought that Ali lost because of all those little intangibles and things that I watched. And, seeing Ali wasn't exactly the same, but he was still great. And I'm sitting there watching it, and I'm like, nah, he won. I felt like he won. And when I watched it before, I didn't score the fight. I just watched it and I looked and, but I sat here and just paid attention when I watched it. Like, just watch round after round. I'm going to score the fight this time. And that's the score I came up with. 8 rounds Ali, 6 Norton. Great fight. Nothing to take away from anybody, man. But just, hey, look, real is real, man. And if you didn't watch that fight, or it's been like, if you haven't watched it in a long time, go back and watch it. And just watch both, but watch how Ali stay in that pocket, how he make Norton miss a lot of shots. Even though you hear that loud thud, a lot of shots was missed, but look at how even when Ali did get hit, how Ali fired right back, and they were going back and forth. And I'm like, yo, Ali has so much dog in him, man. It's crazy. People really don't understand. This is why I say, I don't think people really understand how physically strong Ali was. And when I say that, I mean his ability to take a punch, to come right back, to not be intimidated, and wasn't scared to fight with you, man. People don't understand that shit. And you look at fighters now, man, they're on the back foot scared to engage. And everybody's bragging about a motherfucker being 6'6", 250, 6'7", 2 whatever. But you're scared to engage. And this is why I said, how the fuck do you take a fucking guy like Tyson Fury, 6'9", 273, fighting a guy 6'3", 230 on the fucking back foot, 2 fights in a row, scared to come in and commit and take charge? You cannot put Tyson Fury on a fucking all-time great list. Hell no. You don't fight to your full potential. You don't use your physical gifts properly against real tough opposition. And you lack, as smart as y'all think Tyson Fury is, you lack the ability to know how to switch up and take over a fucking fight. Okay? And at the end of the fucking day, people use his age and say, yeah, but Tyson's 35, 34, considering his age. Usyk is 38. So how in the fuck is his age going to be a fucking excuse when he's 4 fucking years, but, 3.5 years or whatever, 3 years younger than fucking Usyk. That's that Tyson Holyfield effect. Here's a man 4 years older, but you're making excuses about Tyson's age. So when you look at that, and if you're going to say, yeah, but he was still better, okay, then you can't compare them, because if that's the case, you have to say, well, Tyson was great from here to here, Holyfield was great from here to here. No different. You know what I'm saying? So when you take a fighters, and if you want to take their best years, there's fighters who you may think was better than somebody else, and I can see it completely different. Doesn't matter. The fact is, when they fight and you see the results, that's what you got to go by. So once you start, like, look, when Ali lost to Holmes and Trevor Berbick, he was 38. I don't remember if he turned 39 yet when he fought Berbick, but bottom line is Ali was done. He already had Parkinson's setting in. He failed his fucking test, you know, his physical to fight against Holmes, and they let that fight happen anyway. And you could see Ali not the same at all. Ali was done. And in the Trevor Burbick fight, he tried to give more and fight back more. And at that point, it was like, yeah, Ali's finished. Yeah, we knew he was finished. Ali at this point, it's about the money. And Ali was never knocked out his whole career. And Holmes was beating the shit out of Ali. And that motherfucker refused to quit. He refused to go down. I mean, and people don't understand that. So having that type of heart, that type of dedication to like, fuck it, I can't, you know, at that point, his reflexes, everything was shot. His leg, nothing. Ali was done. And to take that type of beating and then come back again, you know, this at this point was for money. This had nothing to do with I'm trying to regain the chance. Like, he was done. And let's say, and Ali being the type of person that, hey man, I'm going to try to win. I'm not coming here just to come in here. And you know, Ali was definitely done. Okay, but up until that point, my point is, anytime you seen Ali go in that ring, Ali is fighting. He's trying to win. He's not coming in there to lay down just to get a paycheck or nothing. And for somebody to be fighting guys that can punch the way they can, and him not have that kind of power, but stand in the pocket and bang with them, that shit was beautiful. And I'm watching it, and I'm like, yeah, Ali was different, man. And this is why I said, man, I put Ali over anybody. So when I give you a handful of fighters, well, almost a handful of fighters who I think if anybody would have had a chance of beating Ali in the later eras, and I explain why, I'm not telling you, oh, they definitely would have beat Ali. I'm saying these guys that I named, in my opinion, would have had the best chance, and I tell you why. But, you know, that doesn't mean Ali doesn't make the right adjustments and beat them. I just put Ali over anybody. And like I said, Mike Tyson's point was that he don't know if he can take that type of shit. And out of his own mouth says, man, you know, it's like people want to pull up that video when Ali was saying he thinks Sugar Ray Robinson is the best fighter pound for pound, but he's the best heavyweight pound for pound. So fucking what? Would he ever have to fight a fucking middleweight? No. And if he had to fight Ray Robinson in a real fight, do you think little Ray Robinson would beat Big Ali? So this is the point what I'm saying. It's so stupid when people say that. And they're trying to say that to make the point that Ali wasn't the greatest of all time and Sugar Ray Robinson was. And these same people that say that don't even watch Sugar Ray Robinson fucking fights. They just going with what, you know, people have said, or they just don't want to give it to Ali, which doesn't matter. But Mike Tyson out of his own mouth. Now play the video of Mike Tyson saying, I couldn't beat that motherfucker. Nah, he's like, Ali, he said, man, Ali said when he fought Frazier, this is the closest I ever came to dying. He said, and if you watch that fight, man, the more tired Ali gets, he keeps fighting back even more. He's breathing in, but he just won't stay. Like, I couldn't beat that motherfucker. Nah. And he, you know, and this is what people don't understand. I don't care about who you like more than others. The problem with people is whatever they like, whoever they like. It's always, now I want to say, in my opinion, he's the GOAT. This person is the GOAT. She's the GOAT. This person is like, bro, everything you like is not the very best. Okay, if I buy a pair of sneakers, I'm going to sit here and tell you this is the greatest pair of sneakers ever made. Give a fuck about that. If I tell you I like Terry Norris as a fighter, he's the greatest ever. It's not always about that, man. Okay, the football team you like might be shit this year. You're going to sit there and sound like a complete moron and make an ass out yourself telling everybody that the team you like is the best fucking team in football, yet the motherfuckers are like 6-8. Like, really? You know, so it doesn't matter. And this is the childish part of it, where everybody, like I said, want to prove superiority. Everybody you like is the best. No, it's not how it always is, man. You know, I like Sky Nicholson as a fighter. Am I saying she's the best female boxer in boxing? No. I like Ramla Ali as well. Am I saying she's the best female? No, I don't know. And bottom line is this. I always told y'all, I don't care about a pound for pound list. I don't care about a greatest of all time list. I look at things and I analyze things honestly. And like I said, it doesn't matter who agree, who disagree. The problem with a lot of you motherfuckers, man, is like you want to be right when you speak, to the point where you're just saying biased shit. And the fighters that you're fucking boasting about, like somebody in the comment section, and this is what I mean about false information. The video I did about Deontay Wilder, somebody in the comment section said that they wanted to see Wilder versus AJ, but AJ ducked Wilder after Wilder lost to Parker. First of all, that's complete bullshit. and that's a bogus false statement. Okay, it was contracted that they both had to win. Turkey Al Sheikh made it clear. All the promoters involved made it clear. Okay, from Frank Warren to Eddie Hearn, everybody knew this. And backstage, when Deontay Wilder was getting his hands wrapped, he's sitting there, and the guy was saying, if AJ loses, because remember, everybody was saying if the fight don't happen, it's going to be because of AJ. And they said that if AJ loses, would there be a rematch, a fight? Then Wilder go, nah. If he loses, there's no sense for it. Well, Wilder didn't have control of that, but that was part of the stipulation, is that they both had to win. 7-8 Sports had Wilder on his show and asked him about that. And Wilder never answered the question. Wilder straight went into, man, they don't want to fight. And he's going to say that he thinking they're still fighting. Why? Turkey Al Sheikh never told you that. That's not what your contract signed that you said. And this is what I mean about why. See, I don't fuck with dishonest people. Then you have informed fanboys who repeat things and don't know what they're talking about. Why in the fuck would you? What would be so different about what Turkey Al Sheikh is doing if we're going to take the loser of a fight and reward them? So what you're saying is, even though Joseph Parker beat the shit out of Wilder, we're supposed to reward Wilder and just put him in there with AJ anyway. It wouldn't make more sense to you to put Joseph Parker versus Anthony Joshua? And when I spoke on that, I said, I don't like that, because Turkey is saying he has a different vision. He wants to do things different. Well, how are you doing anything different if you're going to reward the loser? But he said he didn't want to put Wilder on the next card because he didn't like what he saw. He wanted to see Wilder back. And I'm like, you guys still don't get it. Wilder is not going to beat top level competition unless he just lands a shot and knocked him out, because Wilder just can't box. He's not good. And now the telltale sign comes. If I can't compete with the top opposition, I'm going to have to step down and fight lower opposition, which is why he's fighting this guy with 11 losses on a BLK Prime card, because guess what? The heat in the kitchen got too hot over there with Turkey. You understand what I'm saying? So you put yourself in those same shoes. You're telling me you go in the ring, you fight a guy that you're, especially whether you were the sacrificial lamb or not. The point is, you beat the shit out of this guy, but somehow he gets a title shot or gets a $50 million fight over you, and you beat that guy, and that's fair to you? Now, you might have wanted that to happen, but do you think that that's the right thing to do or the smart thing? So if Turkey's going to do that, what the fuck does his vision matter? You're doing the same shit the PBC has been doing with Wilder all the time. You see, and this is what I mean about people, this fanboy shit. So, no, AJ didn't duck shit. There was no ducking involved. That's what the contract stipulates. No different from people making it known, well, why does Terrence Crawford have to fight Errol Spence at 154 when the contract says that the winner gets to, dictate the stipulations? Okay, no, he doesn't have to fight him at 154. What people was holding him accountable for was saying, oh, we could definitely fight at 154, no problem. You understand what I'm saying? So my thing was, if he goes and fight at 154 and it's not for a title, then he could have fucking, rematched Errol Spence at 154. But at the same time, my whole thing was, I don't think Errol is going to be the same fighter. I feel like Errol Spence is finished, man. I got a video on him too, so I'll save that for later. But at the same time, guys, this is what I mean about people just saying shit. AJ ducked Wilder. How the fuck did he duck Wilder? He won his fight. Wilder lost his fight. And then furthermore, Wilder gets knocked out by Zane. So let's just put him in the fight anyway. This is the same bullshit with what they call it when you have your mandatories, your title eliminators. Now we have a title eliminator. That means this guy beats this guy, he fights the winner of this guy and this guy. But then when both the winners of the title eliminators can't fight each other because, well, you're asking for too much money. Then what was the purpose of the title eliminator? It's nothing but words that doesn't mean shit. There's no honor behind it. There's no structure behind it. You understand what I mean? And Wilder's one of the fighters that said boxing has no structure, and I agree with them. So what, are we just going to play favorites? And this is what people are doing. It makes no sense. There was no ducking. That's bullshit and it's false information. So that's why I tell people, do your homework, do your research. Stop just saying shit because you're a fanboy and because people tell you things and it sounds good to you. You don't even care if shit is true. As long as it sounds good to you, you go with it. But anyway, yeah, it was a great fight. You know, they both were warriors, man. But Ali he was special, man. He was different. Like I said, it was more than just him being a great boxer, like with the skills, with the hands, but I mean everything. His ability to take punishment, his willingness to go in there and fight me inside. I understand I can't dance like I used to, so I'm a box, but I'm gonna mix it up. Ali was a beast, man. He was a fucking beast. They just don't make fighters like that anymore, man. When you see that guy fight, and like it's like I'm saying, you're in there fighting with guys that punch way harder, but you're in the pocket with them, and you're taking it when they get one in, but you're giving it back. And that motherfucker was fearless. And that's what I love about him, man. Because, you know, I always said, my father told me since I was a kid, don't you ever be afraid of nobody. And I never was afraid of no fucking body. And I don't give a fuck how big you are. I don't care how big you are, how tall you are, how hard you I can hit. I'm a bad motherfucker too. You know what I'm saying? So I don't give a fuck about that. And when I watch somebody else have that same mindset, them same attributes, it's like, yeah, I respect it, man. But watching something and not being influenced by things that people are saying, the crowd reaction, all that, you just focus on what's happening, you see what you need to see. And a lot of people, they don't do that. You know what I mean? So anyway, that's my thoughts. Talk to me in the comment section. Never fall in love with lies. Remember, the truth brings hate out of people, and I will catch y'all in the next video.